when the public agrees with the private, y'all. I mean, you know, it's not ego. It's just me pointing out that if you have a critical mind and you really listen and pay attention to what's being said and what's going on, it's easy for you to figure out the narrative actually transpiring. I've been saying for years, I feel like silver is the go. I feel like silver is probably 3 times more valuable than gold. I brought my precious metal mentor on the show, David Wren, and he's spoken about it. Not only is silver a precious metal, it's also an industrial metal. It's used in technology, photovoltaic panels, solar panels, these electric cars, all these, these, what do you call them? This windmills, all this, new green energy dance is going to use a lot of nickel, a lot of copper, and a lot of silver. And hopefully you took heed. Hopefully you've been stacking silver over the years, because I've been talking about it over years, and now the public agrees with the private. So that's it for current events. I appreciate y'all being here. Let's jump into the show fully when the public agrees with the private. And it's not just, the perception of what wealth is. I read an article where large commercial real estate hasn't really been financed and produced since, the 2000s, and that these Bed Bath and Beyonds, all of these stores, these retail large stores that are shutting down, the spaces are getting snatched up right away. Land. The public agrees that land, improved land, is valuable. And they, of course, they distinguish it by saying, commercial land is commercial land, commercial real estate space with this and much square footage. But in reality, the housing market is tore up. You got new families, first-time home buyers that have been priced out the market, including with these interest rate hikes. There's people that just can't do it. So the public, that's the public saying that land is valuable. What is gold and silver? What are precious metals? They're portable land. They're land that you can move. And it's very, very valuable due to the scarcity of this specific pure portable land. Now that this public system is wobbling, now that this public system is becoming more and more unstable, you have those in the public who are showing you what real wealth is, what real value is, what real assets are. And a lot of these pundits, they'll say gold, 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 gold. This is the first time I've seen a CNNBC, like a national news outlet, even say anything positive about silver. But they have to. You look at the price of silver. For example, y'all know what the spot price is. Spot price is the paper price. What is the paper price? If you buy silver in a brokerage account, in your Robinhood account, in your Webull account, that's not actually silver. It's a contract. It's a silver contract. With regards to, the structure, the company that has the silver, that silver contract maybe gives you a right to some silver. But I know that you can't pull silver off the exchanges. Physical silver, you can't trade in your contracts and collect the physical silver unless you get 1,000 ounces of silver. So what people do is they buy the paper contract. When spot price or paper price of silver increases or gold or stocks or whatever, they'll sell it, the paper contract for a profit, and the sale or the cash out is settled in cash. These are stocks. These are equities, and you're not getting actual silver. Even still, the spot price of silver correctly right now, currently, is $24.98, right? And people think that's great. Like, oh, silver is $24. No, it's not. Remember I said this is the paper price. This is the spot market price. The paper price of silver, gold, precious metals has officially separated from the physical price. Case in point, a very reputable dealer, APMEX, APMEX, it's American Precious Metals Exchange, APMEX, APMEX.com, will show you the truth. Now, I'm looking at a 1 ounce American Silver Eagle coin. It is a random year, and it's bullion, BU, bullion uncirculated. It's not shiny, it's not a proof, it's not extra special, it hasn't been painted, it's just a regular American Eagle coin, and it's even a random year. You don't get to choose the year. They advertise that it's $45, even still. Wow. If the spot price of silver is $24.98, these guys advertise the lowest price of 1 ounce silver, American Eagle, which is pure silver, 3 nines, pure. $45. That's over $20. It's like 40-some%. That just shows you that the spot markets and the physical markets have bifurcated even further. To get this $45.17 price on a Silver Eagle, you must buy 1,500 ounces or more. To buy 1 ounce, 1 Silver Eagle ounce, 1 ounce of gold, 1 ounce of silver from this very reputable seller, it will cost you $49.14. If the paper price of silver is $24.99, but the physical price of silver for 1 ounce is $49.14, do you understand what I'm saying? And some of y'all will be like, well, so that's, there's a premium on the American Eagles. Typically they're going to be more expensive than, what is known as a silver round. A silver round would be an ounce of silver in the form of a coin, but it wasn't minted by a government mint. So this is an ounce of silver, same purity, same metal, struck by a private producer. It's not struck by the United States Mint. Okay, I'll give that to you, right? Even still, one random Buffalo round is going to cost you $32.95. That's a little over $9 over the paper price. And then, depending on your jurisdiction, there's going to be tax, there's going to be these things. And I'm telling you, this is the public agreeing with the private. If you know what to look for, if you know what you're looking at, it's plain to see. We are witnessing the public agree with the private. The public may be looking crazy. It's all crazy. Oh, man. Oh, the jobs and stuff. Yep. Because in all actuality, there's a lot of jobs that people are working or were working, no offense, and with all due respect. These positions aren't necessary in financial, economic hardship times for the business to function. They can lose these employees, they can lay them off, and the business doesn't fail. It continues to function. But personally, I deal with United States Eagles because Congress said they were numismatic. Congress only designated United States American Eagle gold and silver coins as numismatic. I've never seen anything else within the legislation where Congress designate any designated any other coin numismatic. And in 1984, which was the year before the United States Mint started creating the American Eagle gold and silver coins, the IRS proposed legislation that numismatic coins were non-confiscatable. So that's where I'm at. And yet the public is agreeing with the private. It's beginning. If you have eyes to see, you can see it. And I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything. You know, if you've been stacking silver for the past few years, you should be happy. You should be in a good mood. At the very least, you know, the silver, your precious metals, your real money is going to hedge against inflation. It's literally insurance against paper money. You got insurance for your car, you got insurance for your home, maybe renter's insurance, health insurance, hopefully life insurance. Most people don't insure their wealth. And the easiest way to do that is to acquire real money, precious metals, and land, and hold it. While the economies, fiat currencies, go all crazy and get weirdo. It's just one of them things. So we got the public agreeing with the private. I also, you know, checked out some Supreme Court cases where the public agrees with the private. And we're talking about, you know, the private trust. And, you know, one of my favorite cases, Crocker versus McCloy, the Supreme Court agreed with the private and said a trust organization consisting of a United States constitutional right of contract cannot be abridged. The agreement, when executed, becomes a constitutionally protected entity. Or a constitutionally protected organization and not under the laws passed by any of the several legislatures. That's the public agreeing with the private. And to me, that's a perfect example of that agreement. I got another one. Let me see. Elliott versus Freeman. The Supreme Court case. I can look these up. 220 U.S. 178. A peer trust is not subject to legislative control. The United States Supreme Court holds that a trust relationship comes under the realm of equity based upon the common law and is not subject to legislative restrictions as are corporations and other organizations established by legislative authority. Another one, Clews versus Jameson, CLEWS versus Jameson. The court will support the trustees in carrying out the terms of their trust, contract, and agreement. Which is a beautiful thing. Look, what you're seeing currently and what I just shared with you as far as these Supreme Court cases or these citations of these Supreme Court cases is that the public agrees with the private. The public agrees with the private every day. The public agrees with the private privately every day, i.e., not in a news article, not necessarily in a TikTok post, not necessarily in a news broadcast with the anchors under all the lights, with the makeup, the stuff, with the desk and the teleprompters. But if you do research and you pay attention, you research in the public, right? Read. And the more you comprehend about what this is, the more you'll see in the public media, public discourse, in the political sphere, that the public agrees with the private. Definitely. I believe that the price of precious metals, especially silver, is heavily, heavily, heavily suppressed. Not so much as it was in the past, you know. You have the separation of the physical markets and the paper markets. It's apparent. But I believe silver is going to, man, I believe silver, you're going to see it at $700 an ounce in your lifetime. Because the earth doesn't make silver. The earth makes water. Earth doesn't make gold, doesn't make silver. These are extraterrestrial elements. They were brought to this earth by comets and meteors over millennia. And to steadily be in mind the amount of earth that they have to go through to get an ounce of silver today is tons and tons more than it was in the 80s. Do your research. The grade of ore is severely reduced. In the past, I'd say 5 to 6 years, there's been a silver deficit, which means industry, whether it's electronic, whatever, as well as, you know, jewelry, and maybe even purchasing and collecting, these elements have purchased or used more silver each year, and I'm pretty sure at least in the past 5 years, than has been produced. So if you're using more silver each year than is being produced each year, eventually the silver is going to get really, really tight. Supply and demand. Basic business economics. When the supply is low, the price is high. When the supply is high, the price is low. It's that simple. If I got a whole bunch of the things, I can't charge an exclusive price because, you know, there's a bunch of them everywhere. If there's only a couple of available, that price is going to show that, you know, there's value over here because we only got 4 left. Sometimes you be in the grocery store or in the store, you walk by a shelf, see one thing sitting there on the shelf. This is the last one, and you contemplate buying it, even though you don't even know what it is. You might not even know what it is. You might not even ever use this thing. You might not even ever consume this thing. But scarcity drives humans. Fear and greed drives the behavior of humans more than most people want to admit. And it's a fact. It's an absolute fact. So what am I saying? You know, the show's entitled When the Public Agrees with the Private. But in reality, the public agrees with the private every single day. And whether or not you or I see examples or evidence of that agreement doesn't matter. Because when you get to the point, you comprehend that the public came from the private. Without the private, there would be no public. Without trust, there would be no corporations. Without there having been a trust prior, there would be no associations, no LLCs. There would be no United States, or at least not in the form, because the Constitution is a trust indenture. It took a trust indenture to create the United States. It took a trust indenture to create corporations, dead entities. Contract makes the law. It appears as though the public and the private are at odds. I would, you know, postulate that the public depends on the private man and woman 100%. But, it appears to me that the public is looking to destroy the family unit, but still utilize the human resource labor of men and women. Completely and utterly dependent on the private. There would be no public if there wasn't living, breathing men and women. Trash wouldn't be picked up. I'm a garbage man. No, you're not. You're a man. And by occupation, you happen to collect trash and put it in other receptacles. I pick it up from here, I put it over here. I'm a secretary. No, you aren't. No, you're not. You're a man or a woman, because, there's men secretaries. Secretary of States in most states is men. Don't get it twisted. You're not a secretary. You're a man or a woman that by occupation performs secretarial duties in a specific job or commercial capacity. People define themselves by their jobs. People define themselves by their color of their skin. People define themselves by the money they make. People define themselves by what accomplishments they've made in their life. I think that's funny. And when you do that, the public will agree with you. Your private proclamation that you are special because of certain private circumstances. And it is what it is. I hope you comprehend what I'm saying. Ultimately the public is always in agreement with the private. But the private must give the public notice. The private must make private claims in the public on the record and substantiate and establish that private position. Best way to do it is through trust. Did you know that if your LLC, let's say you started an LLC, and you're doing business, you're doing your dance, everything's going great, but then somebody sues your LLC. There's a lawsuit against your LLC now. Did you know that you, as a member or as an owner, you can't represent the LLC in court? That you have to hire an attorney to represent the LLC? Did you know that? Check it out. I could be crazy. I might have just told all types of lies this whole time. I would confirm, for yourself, verify it. And I'm not saying that you would want to represent the LLC, but you don't have an opportunity. But when you're administering a private contractual trust, the trustee can definitely represent the trust in any litigational proceeding. Litigational is not a word, but y'all know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm into it. A litigation proceeding. You can do that. A trustee can come in, file things, put them in the record. Can't do that with an LLC. Can't do that with a corporation. Probably can't do it in a partnership. Any state sanctioned entity, you register as the Secretary of State or the business division of the state or whatever. You can't. You got to hire an attorney, man. Good luck. Good luck with that. There's companies that may see your company as competition and will litigate you into bankruptcy. I've had clients apply for a federal trademark and didn't even get out the application process before they gave up because another company challenged their their trademark, and the attorney that they hired, I don't know why, I told them, whatever, but, people do what they do. People believe what they believe. The attorney that they hired to file the trademark kept charging them every time they had to answer the company that was challenging their trademark, and they gave up. They didn't even get a trademark. They didn't even start the company. They didn't do anything. because they got fatigued out with attorney's fees. Private trust, you ain't got to do it. A living, breathing man or woman, you can represent yourself. They can't deny you that. They can't force you to contract with the public, with a public attorney or something like that. If you want to represent yourself, the public will agree with you. If you, in the fiduciary capacity of a trustee, want to represent the trust, the public will agree with you because it's private. And, that's the power of being private. In the private, in proper capacity, in substantive fiduciary form, the public will help you. The Supreme Court said that trustees will be assisted in the carrying out of their trust indenture. Clues versus Jameson. The court will support the trustees in carrying out the terms of their trust contract and agreement. Sounds like the public's agreeing with the private. Because the trust that we administer is a private contract, specifically. And this is to be known. And it's definitely to be shared. So I share this with you today. And I appreciate you. We got the Normalized campaign, May 13th from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, Georgia's Eastern playettes. It's going to be a luxurious time. I look forward to seeing you there. If you would like more information or tickets, email us, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Hate to say it, but, seats are filling up. And, it's going to get to a point where, I know how our people are. You're going to have people that's in the radius that can drive there that's going to try to hit us up Thursday, Friday before Saturday, on the 11th, on the 12th, trying to get tickets. And unfortunately, you have to say, man, there's no more room. There's certain event spaces at these hotels, and it has an occupancy. Only so many people, and the fire department will come shut it down. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So don't wait till the last minute. Email us, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Get your tickets to the Normalize campaign event hosted by the foundation in association with High Frequency Radio Network and Bay Area Gear. I'm looking forward to it, definitely. We got the limited edition foundation tees, limited edition logo, limited edition slogans, normalized private estates, normalized trust fund babies, normalized greatness. Absolutely necessary. What was the price? 1 for 10, 2 for 15. Out of here. Email us, admin@welcometothefoundation.com to get your exclusive foundation, normalize greatness, trust fund babies, private estates campaign. We got about 60 seconds left in the broadcast. I ain't really going to stream. Y'all know what it is. The public agrees with the private. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in Atlanta. Absolutely, definitely. It's going to be luxurious. And, we appreciate all the support. Definitely. This is a new era of the foundation, and it's just magnificent. It's some illustrious dancing going on over here, And, we couldn't do it without y'all. We definitely couldn't, Not at all, So, appreciate y'all. Thanks to all the listeners. Thanks to, anyone who's interacted, booked a consultation, come to any of the previous events, called in, checked out the show in the archive, live, whatever, sent an email, well wish, whatever. Definitely want to say peace and appreciation to all of y'all. And, tap in with us. Atlanta, May 13th. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. And that's it. I'm your host, Sot L, of the Foundation on High Frequency Radio Network. Today's episode was When the Public Agrees with the Private. I trust that you learned something. I trust that something resonated with you. And most importantly, I trust that this information will assist in causing you to take action because it's absolutely necessary. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. So with that being said, appreciate you checking out the show. Look forward to catching you in Atlanta. We'll be back next week. Same spot, hottest radio network on the planet, High Frequency Radio Network. I'm your host, Sot L, and it's been a pleasure. Make sure that you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night, because it is very important. This is how we change the way we think, and if you change the way you think, you change your life. Period. And now you enjoy yourself, take care of yourself, and I'll catch y'all next week on the hottest radio network on the planet, once again, High Frequency Radio Network. My name is Sot L, and y'all enjoy yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.